Hello, all the beautiful people out there. I hope everything is all right and you all are doing really great in your lives. Um, Today, I have decided to record my own experience of overcoming the pattern of overthinking. And before I start talking about that, I would like to mention that I have created this channel just to share my thoughts, my opinions, my day to day learnings in my own way. And I want to keep everything very unstructured and spontaneous. So, yes, that is something that I definitely wanted to share before I start. So, now let's talk about that. The title of this video will definitely be like how have I overcome my overthinking or something like that. So before I start talking about that particular experience or how actually I have done it, it is very important to understand what is overthinking. Now, isn't it quite simple? Because there are two words. One is over, and the other is thinking. So, yes, it is definitely easy that when you think a lot, that is what overthinking. And if you search in Google, as I have searched, it says overthinking is the unproductive, repetitive, and uncontrollable process of dwelling on the same thoughts, past events, or future worries. Okay, and it fits absolutely amazingly, and I don't need to explain it further. Rather, I would like to talk about two words. One is repetitive, and the other one is uncontrollable. That is what overthinking is. Overthinking is a disease, I would say. You know, now let's come to me. I never have realized that I am an expert in overthinking till I reached my early 20s, or I would say mid 20s. When I was in college, especially in first year, I realized that where exactly I stand as an overthinker. And I found myself being in the expert field. Now I am laughing, and at that time I was not, because I was so stuck and nothing was in my control. That's another thing. My brain was not in my control. That is the most scary part of it. Because, see, life is never going to be in your control. In general, I'm talking. If you think that your life is in your control completely, no, it is not. Maybe you have applied for an application for the passport or anything, and you have done your part, but the part that has to be done by those officers out there, they are delaying. Maybe you have, like you have gone to a bank, and you have submitted the check, but the link is missing. So no, everything is not in your control, but at least you should have the control of your own brain, of your own thought, right? So exactly, when I was in my college, I realized that I am an expert overthinker. And how I realized that, that's the most important part of it. If I look back to these days, I I definitely can see myself being in the position like who thinks a lot, who used to think a lot. And when you are thinking a lot on a particular topic, there is nothing productive. There nothing productive can happen out of that. You know, if you are thinking of going to a trip, let's say, suppose you were thinking of going to a trip and you were planning and doing everything, and this planning is definitely needed. You can't take any random decision. Some people do, it's completely their choice, but there are some people who like to do the plannings and everything. They want to be very organized about that trip, and that is also cool. And I may prefer the second one, like while I will have a little plan. Though some of the time I do prefer a little bit very spontaneous journey, I hope. But let's come to the point. Like, yeah, there are people who do feel like it is better to have plan before you take a step. Now, this is good. This is fine. You can spend one day for the planning, whatever is necessary. You look at it and you make the list and you did it fine, absolutely amazing. But then comes this person who is an overthinker, who is an overthinker. What will she do? She will start playing the record. She will start playing the same record from the past incidents and will worry about the future. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if my train, what if my luggage, what if my luggage go missing? What if I suddenly fall sick? What if uh, my friends betrayed me? So you start assuming things on your own, even though there is maybe 1% of uh, data to support your, like assumptions, or maybe sometimes it is -1%. There is nothing, and you are making it in your mind. And how you have fallen to that trap, you really don't know, and that's very common. So that was me. A few years back, I used to do that. I used to think a particular incident more than 100 times, and while doing that, I used to delve in negative thinking, a repetitive thinking, and then I used to become uncontrollable. My thoughts become uncontrollable, and I exactly remember how I felt the day I decided to get over and to get rid of this pattern. Because I exactly don't know what happened that day, what triggered that emotion, but I remember that day I somehow I saw myself in a box, and in that darkness my back was completely attached to the wall, and there was no door in that room. I wanted to get out of that, and let me say this, it was not a dream because I was awake. It was happening in the daytime, in the daylight, and suddenly I was feeling like I am in a box and I just want to get out of it, but there is no door, and my back is completely attached to the wall, and there is no distance to it. I want to break it out, but there is no way that I can get out of it because I felt like I need to get out of it, but how? I didn't know. This was the extreme point when I realized that no, I need to do something. See, if you are a overthinker, and if you have already understood that, yes, I am a overthinker. Don't feel shy or don't feel shame of it. Because you know what? The 50% of the problem is already solved because you have understood that you are a overthinker and you need to get out of it. I would like to mention another symptom of mine, especially when I was in my 11th and 12th. I used to introduce myself to others saying that, you know what, I am an introvert and I'm an overthinker. At that very moment I was like, I felt like, okay, this is a type, this is a kind of a characteristic. Like people, like people have their own characteristics. Some say that they are very jolly, they are very positive, and I used to say like, I am quite introvert, and I do overthink a lot. I still feel like, what, like laughing, because I'm not definitely uh, shame about it, or I have no regret, as I have learned a lot of things from that period of my younger self. So yes, as I had this way of introducing myself, saying this and that. It was continuing, and when I entered the college, and it started hitting me back, I started feeling that my thoughts are not in my control. At that moment, one day while I was, like I had, as I was quite habituated to introduce myself in that way, as I was uttering those words, I might have felt a kind of sensation within me saying that, what the hell are you doing, man? What the hell is happening to you? Because that day I came back from college. I sat down on my bed and I asked myself a question. Exactly when? Exactly when I started taking pride in my identity as an overthinker. And that hit me back, like that hit me hard, to be honest. Because when I first started introducing myself, I used to feel a little shy, and I knew that it is a problem. It is a problem that I do overthink, so I need to get rid of it. I was aware about it. But then goes, as time passes by, I started taking proud in me being an overthinker. I started feeling comfortable in that identity. So when it hit me hard, I I had no option to find out the ways in which I can get out of it. So this was my experience of being an overthinker and how I realized that I need to get out of it. Fine. Now I definitely have to mention one of my um, best mate who had helped me a lot to get out of it. One of his statement that I would never forget in my life, he said that when you overthink, like he was the very first person who showed me that overthinking equal to negative thinking. Because normally that thinking can be two types, it can be, or maybe three types: a negative thinking, a positive thinking, and a mixed kind of a thinking. But for the very first time, when he showed me that no, overthinking equal to unproductive and definitely negative thinking, and then he told me that when you overthink a thing, when you overthink over a particular matter, there is two possibility. I mean that matter may have or can have two possibilities. Either it uh, gets right or it gets wrong. So there is a 50-50 possibility, 50% positive and 50% negative. But when you overthink, you do stress on that 50% negative pattern a lot. And you just completely forget about the possibility of those 50% because you don't even bother to talk about 50% possibility to, like, to make that event successful, to uh, yeah, to make that event successful. You don't think about it. Whenever we overthink, we think that particular thing to be completely ruined just by focusing on those 50% negative thoughts. So I would definitely say that this particular statement of him I will never forget in my life, and it helped me a lot to heal. And definitely, yeah. So I'm really thankful to him. Now, the third part is about how it started journey. It is nothing, to be honest. Though the title of this video maybe, maybe, will be maybe, oof. Though the title of this video maybe like how have I overcome my overthinking or something like that, but to be honest, you never get rid of such pattern overnight. It takes enormous time and enormous effort. And it is not like you will overcome or get rid of overthinking within 2 years, within 2 months, 2 weeks, or maybe it may take your whole life sometimes. Now that I am talking, I am quite aware about the lessons that I have learned. I am quite aware about the process in which I have, like I have uh, restructured my own pattern of thinking. But I can't deny the fact that even today, sometimes I do find myself in the same trap of overthinking. But yes, there is growth, and I can trace the change and the improvement in me as well. If you really want to get rid of overthinking now, I would say whenever you find yourself thinking about those negative thoughts, and whenever you find yourself being in that negativity, just remind yourself that I have decided to get rid of it. It is a conscious choice, it is an intentional choice that you can give to yourself. This is your choice to get rid of that pattern. And if it is your choice, you have to fulfill it. This is the very first thing that you have to do. That whenever you find yourself being in that negativity, just remind yourself that I have decided to love myself. And all these thoughts are created by me. And as they are created by me, I have the power to destroy them. Don't you think that? If I have created a drawing, I have the power to destroy it. So if I have created a whole universe of negativity, if I have created a whole cosmos full with worries and worries and worries, it is in your hand that you can destroy it, man. You can. So just take the step and do it. Now, there are multiple ways. This is the very first one, I would say, and this works amazing. You will find yourself repetitively repetitively falling in the same pattern. But yes, the more you will took that decision that nope, these are not my thoughts, these are the these are some negativity, and I want to get rid of it. That's it. Just let your mind know that you are not comfortable with it anymore. It will help to detoxify your head a little bit. Maybe you are sitting in a school, in a college, and you are doing your class, and suddenly a pattern, suddenly that negativity like a shadow grabs you. Just imagine that film, like imagine that scene in your head. A shadow, like a shadow, a big one. It is grabbing you from all the sides. It has a very venomous uh, look, and you are very scared. And at that very moment, now, just try to be brave a bit and look at it eye to eye and destroy it at that very moment. It may seem a little dramatic, but I am telling you, the people who do suffer from overthinking now, they do suffer from it a lot. Though I am really sorry for repeatedly saying na and na. It's very wrong. Uh, I'll try not to say that anymore. So this is one thing. The next things like you can listen to beautiful positive musics. Uh, Whatever music that fills your soul with positivity. Go to that person, your grandmother, maybe your nanny, or maybe your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your friend, or maybe to your diary, and write down and tell them about your thoughts. When we grow up, it becomes a little hard for us to share our own thoughts to them, so it is better to choose diary instead. So write them down, and if you are very much lucky to have a supportive family, like to have a beautiful family that understands you and that and those people who are very much comfortable to know about your worries, and you have the hope that they will suggest you something good, go to them, talk to them, and destroy that pattern. Number three, what you can do is that you can draw beautiful images of your thoughts. Just take a pen, start drawing. Just draw, and get those negativity out in that page and destroy it. I know you have heard of it many a time, but then why do you need to listen to me? Because I don't know, I just felt like maybe I should record it. Uh, what if I find myself being in that position once again? So it will help me too someday. And that is the reason I am recording it, and I may post it. Sorry about the noise, because as I said, I'm feeling like recording, so I'm doing it. And I was thinking I have to record my journey of overcoming this negative pattern. So, this is it. There is no hard and fast rule about it. The basic rule is that whenever you find yourself from today onwards, whenever you find yourself falling in the same pattern again and again, just try to remind yourself that this is you who have created these thoughts, and you have the whole power to destroy it in an instance. One more thing that I would like to mention here is that it may appear or it may happen to you that maybe 1 year or 6 months you are completely fine, you are absolutely amazing, and you are quite happy that you have overcome and you have got rid of that negative pattern. And you know, and suddenly, all of a sudden, maybe after 1 year or maybe after 6 months of being very uh, positive throughout your days and weeks and months, suddenly you are in the same position. Suddenly you are wasting, or you, let's say not wasting, this term is very uh, like it's not suitable for this video. But let's say you are finding yourself after 1 year or 6 months that after being so positive throughout the months and years, you are in the same position once again, and you start questioning yourself, have I not learned anything? I am still here where I was. What exactly did I wrong? One thing you will notice this time, maybe beforehand, whenever you were overthinking, it would have been taken weeks from you, be months from you, be years from you. But this time, the days will reduce. Gradually, slowly, but steadily, the days will reduce to one, or maybe to 1 hour, to maybe 1 minute. And that is growth. Growth is never about comparing yourself to others. Growth is comparing your past self to the present one. And you know what? We do think a lot about the past things that we have done. And I think I do that as well. I used to do that, not now. Why do we do that? Can we change the past? It may sound very cheesy and very philosophical, but it is not. It is true. If you just open your mind and think of it, like, see, when you think about the past a lot, why do you think about the past? Just ask yourself the question, can you change anything in the past? Can you change, like, today is Tuesday. Can I change whatever happened in Monday? No, I can't. But yes, and one more thing, but can I do anything today for the future? Yes, I can. Maybe I can do some good deeds that will help me in the future. But why to worry about the future? Just think about this present moment, this very moment. Last night I was I some thoughts just came to my mind. I didn't record it, but now that I am recording, these thoughts are coming once again. So uh, I want to document it as well. It was like, you never know when the last, like when your last, when exactly is your last day. So why not live every day and every moment like the last one, not out of fear, not being um, not being very much what should I say, like reckless, just being kind, just being happy, and a smiling soul. Just don't be hard on yourself, okay? Maybe this message is for me as well. Don't be hard on yourself. Be gentle to your own soul. Be gentle to your own inner self. Let it breathe. The natural qualities that we have is the ability to love, the ability to be kind, the ability to smile, the ability to spread happiness among people and humanity. So stay in tune with that. Be happy and know that you are great, you are a beautiful soul, and you are doing amazing. If I have overcome from this pattern of negative thinking, if I was able to do that, I think you all will be able to do it. These are very, I would like to mention, there are so many complicated exams out there that children are giving. Like, I have also some, like, there are JEE, NEET, UPSC, NET exam, SSC, CGL, so many government exams and other exams are going on. And those exams are really stressful, and it has its own way of existing, right? And these are some other exams that I'm talking about. The detoxification of your mental illness. Like, is there any exam on overthinking? Is there any exam on negative patterns? Is there any exam of anxiety? No. People do talk about psychology and psychiatry, and that's amazing that they are getting aware about it. But how, those subjects are coming into being maybe from 90s onwards, but before that humanity existed and people were not aware about those terms, but those experiences were felt at that very moment as well. And so many times we do not even know exactly what illness am I going through. It's just that term, like overthinking. And meditation, being slow in life, slowly looking at the picture, the broad picture of life helps you. And whatever helps you to feel happy now from within, without harming others and uh, without harming others, is good. Draw something, sing a beautiful song, um, maybe create something that you like, cut vegetables, make beautiful food, uh, decor your room, read a lot of books, do anything you like. Just don't fall into that pattern. I really don't know whether anyone will listen to this or not. If you are, then thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this. Nothing else I need to say. And if I have said something that is uh, that you may feel disrespectful or something, I'm really sorry for that, because it just, I don't have any script. I am just talking to myself as if. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Stay blessed and stay happy.